Dark Squad, how we doing, everybody? We doing good? I like it. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Ren released a video while I was absent from YouTube, and it's titled "Why Sick Boy is Off All Streaming Platforms: The KujoBeats and Ren Situation." I was going to react to Sick Boy, but I've noticed that I cannot find it, so I guess this is why. So we're gonna check it out. Let's do this. This is kind of a long one, but why Sick Boy is off all streaming platforms, YouTube, the KujoBeats and Ren Situation.
A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boy has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough.
I didn't even get a chance to react to that yet because I've been making my way through, and it's unfortunate that I didn't get a chance to react yet. So that's unfortunate.
It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently.
Dude, that is rare to see with people nowadays. It's for to be like, I've got my receipts for everything. If you want to go out and you have receipts as well that I did not share, please feel free to release them so everyone knows the situation. Dude, that shows you where his heart is and how he is as an individual. That's why Ren is such a good dude, such a great artist. I mean, he reminds me so much of myself, really, because I'm very transparent in the way that I am. A lot of people are like, they say, thank you for being so open and honest. That's the only way I know how to be. I can't pretend to be something I'm not. You know, I love that.
I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give context for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called KujoBeats, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here, just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit.
Sorry, I don't read really fast, so I have to pause. So sorry if it's just like silence. So he's pretty much saying, give KujoBeats credit for the beat on all licensing, and licenses on every platform. So I feel like that's the correct way, would be the correct way to handle that situation. Be like, okay, I didn't fully make the beat, someone else did, I tweaked it, but let's give him credit because it's originally his. Okay.
Producers, I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in, everywhere. And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right? So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. Just like, wicked, I love the track, okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the, if anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face. Just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there, make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boy has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KujoBeats' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me. And I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on?
Hey man, wanting to understand what's going on with this dispute. I thought you had been credited fairly everywhere. If you hadn't been, it's totally my bad. I was going through brain damage treatment at the time of your message, but I thought I updated it all correctly. In regards to this sample, we got a message saying the sample of the choir had not been cleared, but I had nothing to do with what happened next. That was my publisher. They just told me they were dealing with it. I heard nothing about it, so since I'm really confused, was what's going on. And I'd love to sort it out. Everyone's happy because I don't want to, for your sake or mine, for this to need to get legal, because it's such a pain in the ass and costly things to happen. If you could let me know who in my team you've been talking to and what they've said, I'll get on it, because it's something that they've done wrong in their end. I want to resolve it ASAP so everyone is happy. I just really try to focus on music and stay out of all things business, so I had no idea there was an ongoing dispute going on. Just got forwarded some comments from you replying to someone, which I was kind of surprised about. Dude, that's such a shady thing to do. Someone buys a beat from you and then you copyright strike it. If that's what I'm getting from this so far. I mean, I know he's going to go into detail of what's going on, but like to copyright strike something that someone paid for and then he got a license for it, that is so wrong, man.
Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they're welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada. And he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation when I thought that we like on the same page here. So I pull him up on it and he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying, when he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening because I'm in the dark about all of this.
I couldn't imagine doing this to someone like Ren. I really couldn't. He's such a down-to-earth person and he really cares about people. And I'm just going to say it now, like I did my first Ren reaction and all the renegades have flooded me with nothing but love and positivity and everything. I can't imagine going after Ren for something and having all of you being like, oh, he's done Ren wrong. I could not imagine that flood. Oh, I can't even, like, y'all flooded me with love and positivity because of how I connect with Ren. I can't imagine going after Ren negatively and then having all of you come at me negatively. I could not imagine that. Like, sounds like a nightmare.
Situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so, like, blown up. Like, maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed. And I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which has nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently. Never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed. So I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. doesn't affect me in any way. So like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing. It's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not, it's up to the producer, but unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right?
Dude, the fact that Ren's still trying to like be like, look, okay, let's work this out, and still being very cordial about it, after what this dude has done. The fact that he's still being very cordial and trying to work it out professionally, because he could have went off the rail. Ren could have went off the rails on this dude, and the fact that he's still trying to work it out like cordially, it shows you how like what a good dude he is, man. It sucks like this, like something like this happened to him. It's so ridiculous.
So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here, and he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also, I didn't actually violate the contract. Not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me. Send me an email. Like, you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work. So like, send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus a £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But
right?
Because like, may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right? But out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like, you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line, it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right? And
dude, I agree with that. The way he explained that, you can't just buy something from someone and then if it raises in value, go back to the person you sold it to and be like, hey, I know you bought it for $500, but I just found out that painting's worth 100,000 now, so I'm gonna need a little bit more money. That's not how this works. It's like buying something off of Amazon and for like 20 bucks, and then all of a sudden, like, it gains in popularity, and it's now, let's just say $6,000. You know, I know that's an over, like, a reach, but you know, just for, you know, what he's saying. And then Amazon being like, hey, sorry, we sold you that for $20. It's now worth about $6,000. So we're going to charge your card for, you know, what we feel like it's worth. So we're going to charge you $3,000. That's not how this works. Dude, this situation is so effed.
It says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So, like...
See, that's crazy because I've been doing Ren reactions for a bit now. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad here. I'm happy for that. I have had to go back. I will get copyright strikes on Ren's music when I do it, and I have to file for a dispute, and then it goes into escrow, where I make nothing off of it for however long it's in escrow for, and then it will either say, hey, sorry, it's not eligible, and it'll say ineligible, and then it'll or sometimes it'll say that it's been taken off. So I'm kind of like, I'm still new to this whole like doing reactions and trying to make money from it type thing. So it's all new to me. So I'm trying to figure out like what causes. I mean, I understand that it's a copyright claim is, hey, you're listening to my song. And then I have a like a little thing that I put in to my videos, which is right here. It says, this is my musical reaction, breakdown, and commentary analysis of the song. I intended no copyright infringement, and this is not a replacement for listening to the song. Like, I have that pulled up, so when I do a reaction and like I post it, it'll say, hey, this is copyrighted content. And I'm telling you, almost every song I do by Ren will tell me that this is a copyrighted song, and I'll have to dispute it, and then it'll start to be like, hey, our bad. I don't know what causes that. I don't know if it's just YouTube's automatic system that's saying, hey, this is copyrighted. But to know that he has that, like, he wants people to do reactions to his music, and he wants everyone to win in the situation is an amazing thing to hear. So I have to, I guess I don't know how. I'm like I said, I'm new to this. Like whole trying to make money off of doing YouTube thing. Not that it really bothers me too much. I do this because I love it, not because I want to make money from it. But if I do get a little compensation from putting in the time, then amazing. Like that's what better way to, you know, make a little money than to do something like that. So I'm just trying to, I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to really say is I'm trying to figure out why like YouTube still does that. Why it still says, hey, this is copyrighted. If he has that turned off and allows people, well, since he has that turned off, then why does YouTube still flag it? That's my big thing. Like, so I don't know. I don't understand. I don't really understand the whole aspects of it. So maybe he'll go into detail. So I don't know. But it's funny because every song I do pretty much by Ren is either monetization sharing or just completely it's ineligible. I think only 2 reactions, which is How to Be Me with Chinchilla Live. That one didn't get copyrighted. And then the other one that I did, like, so even the Big Push I get copyrighted for. High Ren was copyrighted the moment I put it out, and I didn't know what to do because like I saw if you dispute it, your channel could get taken from you. So I didn't dispute it until I found out I learned the right way to dispute a claim, and then it got, turned off. Like then then my monetization got turned on. So sorry that I rambled a little bit. It's just, I'm still trying to figure this out, but it's nice to know that he does have that turned off so people can do reactions.
Their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed, which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out. And I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation.
And I'm sorry for pausing again, but all this after going to treatment for like a year and a half, for like a brain injury and everything, and going through all that, and then getting ready to do your first show in 5 years, I believe that's what he said, and then you have to deal with all this crap. Oh my god, dude, like I can't imagine that stress.
It was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. The time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea, because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me, I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing, because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So
even after all this, Ren's still trying to be the good guy here and be like, look, I don't want to ruin your life because of this mistake. Let's resolve it. Here's what we can do. Like most people, and I'm saying most people, 98%, maybe that's too much. 75% of people would have been like, destroy him for what he's done. And he's still trying to be that good guy and like, let's resolve it and let's figure this out. What a champion, dude.
So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry, yeah? You and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing. Because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day.
What? Dude, what a stupid decision on his behalf. Holy crap. I have seen what the Renegades can do. Okay? I have seen it firsthand, of the positivity and the love that you can throw at someone. Like when y'all first came into my life from doing a reaction, y'all flooded me. And it was low key overwhelming. I didn't know how to handle it. I was like kind of backed into a corner, like, what do I do with all this? And then my mind was like, they're here for you because they understand where you're coming from. They see your pain, they see your heart. Give them more. And I have, and I could not be more blessed and thankful for all of you guys. Y'all have shown me so much love and positivity. There's been a couple that have been like, I had some, one of them in particular, I'm not going to drop a name because I'm not that type of person, pretty much told me to unalive myself. But you got the real renegades outweigh the fake ones. So I pay attention to that. dude, Ren is such a champ, bro. But that dude is insane for denying that offer. Jesus, what a dumb decision to say no.
And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what had happened next. But it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would have also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like,
yeah, because he knows he's wrong.
And then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even make the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like, we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funny...
Tried to back him into a wall and say, you're the bad guy, you started this. Dude, what a... Kujo's a coward, bro. Are you serious? I hate people. He's just a bully. Ren is successful. Ren bought a beat to use for a song. The song is doing what I assume. I didn't get to see numbers or anything like that. He might show it. From what I assume, the song was doing really well because it's Ren. You see that, and you're like, how can I dip my fingers into that cookie jar? And then you did all this. Dude, what a coward.
For everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like, we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject to go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment when my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was
cowardice,
disrespectful, given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man, like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned, but it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but
I'm here for
this is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the is this? So I messaged him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realize that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages. Because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what? He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever.
Still trying to be the good guy, man.
But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other. Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like, basically the long and short of it is like, she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what.
Okay, I kind of want to go back.
To me, read it.
Okay, looks like you've done an oopsie here. Yeah, I didn't realize you knew Kujo personally. I was trying to explain myself fairly, but I have no interest in affecting any of his personal relationships. Okay. Only took me a second to figure out that you're on your profile, not interested in effing up people, effing up the dude's life. I just want the situation fairly resolved. Not interested in him being screwed over for publishing at all. I too have been a struggling producer for ages. It's only been the past 2 years things have been blowing up. But I do want to get a video I poured my heart and soul back online. A video that I poured my heart and soul back into back online to figure out how Kujo can get his publishing money ASAP. He's still trying to be the good guy, man. That's what's crazy. Is even after all the olive branches Ren's trying to give this dude, it's just tossed aside like trash.
We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it.
Listen, I hear you. I'm sorry that this thing is in the way here. Taking it back, I had no idea any of this was going on. I also know what it is like to pour your heart and soul into a song. I tried so hard to empathize with you, but that all died when you made your public statements. I can understand you informing your community of the status of the Sick Boy music video. However, inciting them to go harass him while deforming things that were said done to villainize him, painting him as a scheming, greedy, envious character when that could have been furthest from the truth. Pretending he only came after you because the track is successful. Saying that's exactly what I said. He's dipping his hand in the cookie jar. Saying that he's asking for more than he's owed. Saying he's uncooperative, implying he's not willing to do anything about it. Those are lies, and you fed your community, and we both know it. Now we're going here. I don't know if y'all are able to read this on the screen. On my other screen, it doesn't look like you can, so I'm just reading it out loud for you. I know that all the deceitful people in this industry can make the last person paranoid, but he is not out to get you. He has very strongly anchored sense of justice and can assure he has never meant to step on any toes. You tell your friends you expected him to at least come to you directly. Hasn't he told you that he was 100% sure you were fully involved in the conversation in the first place, especially when he had been going on for months? I've seen how he handles himself around artists. Anyone that has ever worked with him has praised him for his flexibility, kindness, and integrity. He has undercharged or even offered beats to smaller artists plenty of times because he truly cares about the art above everything. You say you're an underdog, yet you stage this public humiliation thing on your and his channel. Almost like you're calling the accused in the trial where the jury is made up of only your devoted fans. What are you trying to accomplish? Who the F do you think you are? Do you hope that thousands of people, I think it's supposed to say degrading him, shitting on his every accomplishment, threatening him, will somehow bring you justice? You're talking about receipts, encouraging him to come forward and face the wrath of your community, expecting what exactly? Is this really who you are as a person and how you operate? It's a distasteful and deeply unethical.
It actually ends up being, it seems to me.
Why do you not see him as your kin? A slightly out of place ADHD artist trying his best to make a living. Assuming he had ill intent from the get-go is extremely detrimental to the resolution of things. Try to see his side truly. And you're in distress. You are oh so fortunate that Kujo isn't all things that you said. You're lucky that he's deeply kind and has integrity, because he is honest. Because to be honest, if you dragged my name through the mud like that, I wouldn't have been so patient. I'm sorry that I'm losing my effing temper, but I'm absolutely furious. His lawyer, not even him, his lawyer, his own willpower suggested he could be entitled to 100% of the earnings, and you publicly turned that into. Kujo said he wants 100% of the earnings when he specifically said he didn't want that, and to think that it's not fair. It was fair at all. I understood why you're mad, which is why I deleted my messages. I think you're perfectly justified to defend him. I've been effed over so many times this industry, so I have something that close to me hold hostage as leverage has been gutting. I wish he'd just come to me months ago. My lawyers should have too. The redacted. And I've already told him I don't want to work with them anymore. I'd have never posted publicly until I saw messages from Kujo on his YouTube saying that this was basically all my lawyer's fault and then somehow bending the truth. At that point, I said nothing to my fans. They only found the video because the copyright strike came direct from his channel. I got upset when he sent messages saying it was the industry standard that anyone who buys a beat has to cover licensing, because I felt super gaslighted. And no, it wasn't true, and he's still sticking to his guns on it.
Like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to him.
Before I had made any kind of post, I offered money, offered to split publishing, told him I'd chase my publisher. I had really just wanted my video back. I was getting literally hundreds of messages asking where the video was, and it was upsetting. Then when I saw comments, he wrote basically shifting all the blame onto the lawyer I'd snapped. Look, I'm sure there's truth in what you're saying about his character. I'm not sure if he can see it, but his lawyer is pushing him to do what is fair. He's asking for $3,000 out of my pocket when the problem was the publisher's fault. The fault of Kujo selling a beat he shouldn't have. The fault of everyone not even telling me that this frustration was going on, and then all of a sudden I wake up and one of my most streamed videos is blocked, and my channel that I worked really hard for has a copyright strike when I know nothing about this. Then on top of that, I tried to resolve it and tell him I'm gonna get him every penny he's owed, and the lawyer turns around and says they want even more. I get he is angry because waiting so long, trust me, but I was in brain damage treatment, dude. I literally got home 2 weeks ago to all this chaos. I have no idea the situation is even happening. I tried to deal with it really amicably and even said I'd pay him cash if the people claiming the sample put their foot down and didn't budge. But then posting stuff about me in the comments when I was trying to be calm about the fact that my video was removed just really rubbed me the wrong way. There's still right way to sort this, but it's between me and Kujo. Both our lawyers are inflating this whole situation. I've offered an olive branch so many times. I'm not interested in financially effing him over at all.
Each other, like we should. You can pause this and read this if you want.
I'm sorry to reiterate, but I really think people on your side should have it was their responsibility since they work for you, bruh. Yeah, they should have. I told them this too. They said they think I didn't need it because of the brain damage treatment, but for it to escalate to this is so mad. I feel for you, Ren, truly. I won't lie, I'm still mad about all the people you sent his way. I understand acting impulsively and emotionally. I have ADHD too. Also, it's your life's work. But the copyright strike should have never happened, especially because the publishing situation is mudded so much by the publishing mistake on your boyfriend's part. We both think it was very uncool. He lost trust in you when you did that. I felt like a low blow. I lost my trust when I saw his comments. That's why I reacted. That was literally the thing. I actually promise I woke up, went on the video, and read a comment that really drove me nuts because I felt I had some common ground.
It's like
I felt we had some common ground.
Basically, the long and short of it is like she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you knew about this all along, you could have actively participated in the negotiations and maybe reacted at some point of agreement and avoided the copyright strike and all that ensued. If you were you, I'd be furious at my own lawyer for keeping me out of it. If I were you, I'd be furious at my own lawyer for keeping me out of it. I understand the brain surgery means a lot of downtime, but this has been going on for so long. We are absolutely flabbergasted to learn that you had no idea. That's how unbelievable it was to us. He's not asking money from your pocket, but maybe your publishers are insured in case they mess up that bad. The whole money / contract situation seems beyond both of you. To be fully honest, I'm not being insulting there, but I agree with you that talking through lawyers is the easiest way to get drowned in law jargon and protocols and other bullshit. I am actually on the same page there. They're asking for 15% of the mastering right. And I said the publisher should absorb that cost. I've already propositioned that. I have proof of this too. I want you guys to know that I'm actively trying to find a fair solution here. I'm not trying to F him over, but I also think it's really unfair how it's all being dealt with because it seems like everyone's F up but mine. I have been really emotional about it. He's been effed over too, so bad, you know. A dude he used to work with stole his beats, claimed credit, and still making money from his hard work to this day. Everyone is traumatized with trust issues in this industry, it seems. The industry is effed.
And feels like it's a lot of the industry's.
I'm a smart cookie and understand the price of exclusive lease. I'm willing to give 3K as like recoup on the master split of my publishers admit their F up and absorb the 15%. I don't know how Blank calculated that amount. I don't think it should come from you, I agree. I'm not sure either. I don't know why people kept telling me I need to pay 3K. That rubbed me the wrong way too. But also, dude, they push for 15% on the master with the back payment, which wasn't an original contract. That's so much money, and so much money has gone into promoting this record. I'm happy to do it if it's moving forward, but that's a different thing because it's back paid. I lose out on a lot over leverage. It doesn't feel good to me. If it's money that's made moving forward, then okay, cool. But honestly, Blank, I'd rather do is scrap the contract, beat Stags, and draw up a simple one between me and Blank that gives him 15% in whatever publishing.
For my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh.
If I take it public, I'll make sure your BF doesn't get any grief, okay? Even though I don't feel like he's dealt with this perfectly, but I know you feel the same about me. Leave him out of this if you do, please. Look, or else I'm flying to London and breaking your kneecaps. I have nothing to gain crushing a producer's career. People are so effed, bro.
Laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened.
I can tell, bro, I'm like that too, okay? But shit, bro, that could have ended very effing badly, and you don't know it. I know the last thing I wanted. We don't even have to go there, but I know, okay? Understand? Though you're on your own PR team is so bound to get a bit messy. No, I don't mean that as in a trial. Dude, okay, let me just explain. But imagine if Blank had issues. Some people have committed suicide over stuff like that.
If he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But...
oh, snap. Oh, God. Please drop a song about this dude. Because I'm telling you, Ren channels this into a song. Let's get it, bro. It's going to be insane. Dude, if he drops a song over this, I'm going to be so hyped. I'm so hyped over that.
I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about like her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD, and like, you know, maybe we just got. And so I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level.
I was getting literally hundreds of messages about it. And then when my fans asked him why, he made me out to be the bad guy here. So I had to say what was happening. I get that it's what he thought, but still, please put yourself in my shoes. That was before the lawyer then said, oh, and by the way, 3K and 15% master, because if you don't, we have the right to 100%. And blank was like, yep, seems fair. Just trying to help you understand. It wasn't character assassination and the exaggeration. I know, but that was unfair of you to force him to deal with this publicly. He made it public first. It's a bit of a violation. You can be upset and disagree with the terms or even think he's the biggest scammy sick in the world, but you can't force him into the public like that. When you have a huge platform, you have responsibility. That's what Batman said, I think. I'm putting myself in your shoes, trust me. This doesn't sound like an ADHD person. It sounds like a nutcase.
Headed, right? So like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys are, it's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but then at this point I start being like, you know what? Maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though
there is a shared responsibility and I'm working hard to remedying it. I'm not expecting him to bend the knee. He holds grudges. He's upset about the public shaming and the fallout from that. But there's some shared responsibilities there regardless of what you came after, just from an unemotional level. I understand you may need to hear him acknowledge that, but you have to come to terms with the fact that might not happen, and that doesn't make him an asshole. I get it comes from lack of experience in these situations where songs blow up and rights holders who most of the time aren't even the performers ask way too much because they have people over a barrel. It doesn't make him an asshole, but it does make me feel less good about the fact I'm actually giving him money. I technically shouldn't be to cover his mistake. I'm going to do it regardless because I believe people should be paid for their input. But I'm taking the fall for something he's done, which is why when I read comments like it's all Ren's lawyer, then I explode. Dude, Ren is still trying to be such a good dude. Dude, it's just like he just keeps getting poked, man. And that's ridiculous.
I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with. We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to share a screenshot of the document. I can, however, confirm that indeed the licensed Ren should hold the producer harmless in case of uncleared sample, and that any payment for sample clearance has to be license borne. Kujo had no responsibilities there. He never asked for 100% either.
And then I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind because I'm like, these guys, they pretend they're on my side and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like,
they're mental.
I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation.
Dude, come on. You're posting something which isn't even in the contract. Please download it and look at it and search for the quote you just posted. Producer undertakes no responsibility whatsoever as any element added to this new song by licensee. The licensee indemnifies and holds producer harmless for any such elements. Producer warns that he did not sample, as that term is commonly understood in the recording industry, and any copyrighted material or sound recordings belonging to any other person, firm, or corporation hereinafter referred to as owner. without first having notified the licensee. This is exactly what it says to me. Says me, the artist cannot add any additional uncleared samples. Please read it. Don't give me a reason to get annoyed, please. I thought we'd put this into bed till me and Kujo chat tomorrow. I feel like our chat was good, but if I see you posting lies online, dude, how am I meant to feel like Kujo is a good person? I'm sorry, I don't know what FFS means. I'm trying to sort this so he gets his money. Stop, blank, please. Just work with me and not against me.
And you can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, yo. So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So next, I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract.
Confirm that indeed the licensee okay, that's the same one I read earlier, right? Okay.
Which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be.
Here's a part of the automatically generated lease contract on BeatStars, the one that bonds Ren and Kujo. Producer undertakes responsibility whatsoever if there's any samples, as the term in commonly understood in the recording industry. Oh, so this is what. Okay, this is what was in what he sent to her, saying, "Hey, this is what it says." Okay.
Pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but so I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely
He refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on his end causing Kujo not to get paid royalties was at the heart of all this. Of his shares on the song in exchange for a fixed fee, Ren kept on threatening to sue and go public. Ren took it public the next morning.
Cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principle still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the song, the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, where's the video? And I wanted to address it all at once. And I also felt like I was being treated extremely.
The issue is that Ren did not honor the original contract, including the terms and conditions of the BeatStars platform. He basically paid a flat fee of £80 while agreeing to pay a percentage of all earnings to the song to Kujo. Kujo used vocals from the Bulgarian choir in the beat and disclosed the use of a third-party sample on the beat page. He didn't notice for some reason, nor cared to ask if the sample had been cleared, paid for, which traditionally is the artist/label's duty to, even if that means going halvesies with the producer. Only then did Kujo receive a mail from his team after months of ignoring him while asking for payment. Kujo's lawyer said the only solution was to issue a copyright strike since they were being ignored at this point. Ren's team hasn't reconsidered the terms at all so far. That's where we're at.
Unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song exchange.
Ren was obviously upset that he wasn't cooperative. He refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on his end causing Kujo not to get paid royalties was the heart of all this. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay.
Fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Kujo also claimed to me and publicly that he'd been chasing publishing money for over a year with no reply, which is why he was so annoyed, as did his girlfriend. This was another lie, as proven in the next screenshots. I like that he has receipts for all this, bro. Like, you could try your best to, like, say whatever you want, but Ren has receipts, man, and he is going all in. I love it. Dude, literally, in the message you posted yesterday, it said you guys were chasing for a year, and Kujo told me that multiple times. I can go back, grab proof, hold up. What happened is Kujo has been asking Blank about his publishing for almost a year when the song was posted, basically. And Blank pretty much ghosted him until the Bulgarians showed up at your door. I know you're angry, but everything you're posting or telling me that isn't true makes this situation 1,000 times more complicated. Okay? Complicated. Okay, but wait. You just said it wasn't till, I think that should have been redacted. Paul emailed. That was April and my understanding. And then contacted Kujo back, tried to get him to give up his publishing over the sample. Did you ever reach out to Blank regarding publishing before the Bulgarian choir situation? Please tell me you did, because it helps you guys, and I'm trying my best to help you guys here. Bro, I'm not even angry right now. I just woke up. I have ADHD, so I have no effing memory, not sense of time whatsoever. Okay, I could say this full on. As a person with ADHD, I have a great memory. I remember things that I'm supposed to remember. Like, especially when it comes to like certain situations of things. Like, if someone said something to me 5 years ago, my brain will scan and be like, okay, but you did say this. I remember you saying it. Like, it takes me a second, but I remember. So dude, I don't believe that. Now, it's hard for us to focus in the moment, and we could literally, like, we will walk down the hallway, we'll be in the bedroom and be like, oh, I need to go grab this really quick. Leave the bedroom and walk down the hallway or whatever to go get it, and you're like, what was I doing in the first place? Then 5 hours later, while you're cleaning, you'll remember what you were, So I don't want to hear that. I don't. That's an excuse. Just get Kujo to find some proof that he actually made any attempt to. I don't. It just says re. I'm not sure he did. I'm not sure he claimed he did. Like I said, I don't remember, nor was I involved with everything from the get go. Dude, I can show you a screenshot proof, and you literally claimed you were reaching out for a year last night. Hold up. I know there was a call with Blank regarding the sample and a while back where he tried to get Kujo to give up all of his rights to clear in exchange for 3K. It was a long time ago. This started in April, as far as I know. That's 3 months ago, man, not a year. I think it's since that the negotiation started. What happened? Bro, until a month, I was working 50 hours a week and completely burnt out. I can't help you here.
Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, this is the first time
The video goes back when the agreement is signed and I get my first payment, but best I can for you. You'll get your money, but if I see a single post from you or your girlfriend on any story, reply, Reddit, lying about this situation, don't play victim again if I tell the truth of this situation. And I mean a single one that gives any one-sided information about this, because you'll essentially be taking thousands of pounds out of my own pocket. I'd appreciate you acknowledge publicly at the end of this that you should have never sold an uncleared sample. It's the whole thing. You shouldn't have sold an uncleared sample. The whole situation. And then you were like, the video and the music started blowing up, and you're like, let's dip my hands in there.
I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public.
I am leaving now, but I'm going to make this very clear. I never once threatened to sue up until now. But if I see one single post which lies about the fact of this situation, I will sue for defamation. From either you or Kujo, stick to facts. Stick to everything that was said in these messages. Stick to the reality of the contract, then post whatever you like. Please don't contact me again. This has been so frustrating. And in future, if your boyfriend is annoyed about something, tell him to contact the effing artist about it and read his own contract before throwing a hissy fit. Ooh.
Image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right, and my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final.
I'm not trying to take 100%, bro. Like, just get your lawyer to write up the contract so we can settle this, man. It's been over 8 months and your lawyer is still bouncing emails back and forth with zero progress. I made it clear that I'm willing to make concessions and never intended to take 100%. I'm not agreeing to retroactive payment, brother. I made that very clear. I agreed to publishing split and advance going forward and a new master split. But I'm not going to spend weeks going through my receipts of the video, etc. But that was what you agreed in the video call. I have better things to do. Don't you have a team to take care of that for you? No, it isn't. I always said I was against retroactive split, and no, brother, Ren independent, and that aside. You literally have a manager and a lawyer, dude. I paid for an unlimited beat back payment from the start. That is ridiculous. Blank agreed on back payment on your behalf. That was settled in the video call, bro. He didn't. And if he did, that wasn't my wishes. It wasn't settled in the call.
If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like, and I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like,
it's messed up,
rather
man.
than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me. But
I really hope that Ren redoes the song. I mean, I know it's not going to be like original because he had his own creative process to make that video happen and to do everything he did with the song. I never got to hear it or watch the video or anything like that. So that does suck because I wish I could have. But I really do hope that Ren finds it within himself to redo the song. Maybe redo it with the Bulgarian choir. You know, the reason, like, I guess most of this started was because Kujo sold an unlicensed or sold a beat that he shouldn't have. Kujo sold a beat he shouldn't have because the Bulgarian choir. So maybe I hope Ren can redo the song with the Bulgarian choir. I think that'd be kind of cool.
that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know, like that's gone now, that's taken away from people. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Anyway, so I sent that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of
No, wait, I don't want to pause because I'm not petty, but I want to read it. Oh my god, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Joe shares some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous.
I don't want to pause.
That
I don't want to seem petty. I'm gonna read it though. God, does that make me petty? I'm just gonna read it, okay? I'm not petty. Make it make sense. No, brother, I have time for none of this out of principle. Me fatigues. I'm not paying you a master split. You have dealt with it like a cunt. Ooh, pretty rich coming from you, mate. Anywho, Ren says, F you. Talk to blank. Tell him your terms. Let's finish this. I have multiple times. You know my terms, but that's irrelevant now. I don't give a F about the details anymore. I just want this to be over and get my bag. Tell blank what you want so you can call my guy and then we can settle this. I just want to get, see, that's what it's all. I just want to get my bag. I just want to get my money. That's all it is.
We like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous.
You didn't say a single sentence on the call, not one. That's because I let professionals handle business like an adult. Man-child, bro. When my lawyers asked you to speak, you said nothing. It's actually pathetic. Yeah, because he was trying to play me. Stupid, huh? No one's trying to play you. LOL, you sold an unlicensed sample and chasing more money than you're owed. Where's my effing money then? It's all about money with that dude, bro.
One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point.
Not gonna listen to your messages, but just want to let you know I think Blank has done you dirty as F in this whole thing in his own interest. From one artist to another, I'm sorry I came this far and got so effed up. I'm going to talk to Blank to see what options we have to end this month so we can all move on. I'd advise you to hire a new lawyer. Peace. I'd advise the same, brother, suggesting you take down a song, even contact the artist and threatening to remove it before we'd even heard back from the original sampler owners is bonkers. If you don't want to listen, I'll say it here. If I see one more lie from you or your girlfriend about this situation, I will sue you for defamation, so be very careful. Stick to facts. Don't threaten me, idiot. We never lied. It's a promise. Unlike you and your fans. Oh my god. If your girlfriend literally wrote a whole passage, not in the contract, whatever, and you literally said to me that it was my responsibility to clear the samples multiple times, can we stop the petty shit?
I lost all patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So,
well, if you really cared about your fans, leave them the song. Just saying, the original contract didn't have a master split. If you want to chase a breach of contract, you could. You're letting your pride and ego get in the way, mate. I'm not trying to chase shit with you except my bag. Once I get paid, you can do whatever you want with the song. I don't give a F. Just pay me and let's end this. It's all about money with that dude.
He was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag. I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher.
Why are we still talking? Just pay me. Dude, how many times? I'm not a publisher. That money is between you and the publisher. All right, then peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Let's compare how well it's going if you want to go that route. And homeboy, you're a child. One that can't even talk for himself. But this dude was praising Ren when Sick Boy came out. Was saying, sick, I love it. And now it's because you're not going to pay me, your music's trash. Dude, that is the type of people in this world that I cannot stand.
And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split, just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want the
Yeah.
situation over with. So the song's down.
That's sad too, because you could tell that song means so much to him, man. And like all the messages he got about how it helped people, and that's just been taken away from someone. That is so sad, because you could see it in his demeanor and in his eyes how much that song meant to him. That sucks, man. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve it at all.
Funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, "All right, peace. Your music sucks, by the way." Which is really funny, considering, you know, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good to work with me, you know. Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm releasing a song about this whole situation.
Yes.
And it's dedicated to Kujo.
Oh.
And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown. And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself, all the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boy, because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine.
Thank you.
For the anniversary of Sick Boy, the album, you will be getting Sick Boy, the beat, remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it.
Let's go.
So look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping. There's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, all right? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow. And so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you, sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
$509. Oh my god. Let's talk about it. All right, I know this was a long one, but man, what a video. Like, holy crap. And I think I said it earlier in the video too. I hope he makes a song about this, and he's doing it. And I think I even said it before. I hope he redoes the Sick Boy song, and he's redoing it. Bro, amazing. Because I just finished before this doing the Bittersweet Symphony, and then I saw this and I was like, oh crap. So I wanted to check it out, and now I know I have a song that I must do the day of. So I'm definitely going to be hopping on the Kujo Beatdown the day of when it drops. Dude. Oh, wait. 0509 May. So this was released 5 days ago. It is the 4th. Oh, he's releasing this tomorrow? Oh man, I need to edit this. I cannot wait for this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you liked the video, be sure to like the video. If you're new here and you like the vibe, consider subscribing. And as always, you matter, you belong, you were worthwhile. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Peace and love, and I'll catch you all in the next one.